All right, time for lesson 6, where we're going to learn to multiply polynomials by a monomial. So this is very similar to what we've been doing. We're going to change it up just a little bit because now we have a monomial, which means we have an extra exponent or variable to account for. Okay, but the same rules apply with distributive property. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our monomial and we're going to multiply that to each of the terms within the bracket. Okay, so here we would end up with 3x times 2x, right? And we're going to add 3x times 4. Same thing, we start by multiplying our coefficients. So 3 times 2 is 6. And then our variables, x times x is x squared. Here, 3 times 4 is 12. X times nothing is x. It's 1. It's a simple so you can remember that. Okay. So you're going to breeze through these a little bit quicker, and we'll just kind of keep it going. So 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x plus 3, or times plus 3 is 6x. Okay. 2x times 3x is 6x squared. 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. And lastly, same idea, we've just flipped the brackets. If you want to, you can rewrite this as negative 3x times 2 plus 3x. That's not a problem. If you don't mind just distributive property, negative 3x times 2 is negative 6x. And then negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. X times x is x squared. Okay. Best math would be to rearrange this, flip these terms, so you end up with negative 9x squared minus 6x, because you go from highest degree to lowest degree. If you're ever flipping, right, make sure you take your negative sign with you and you don't just flip the terms and leave the negative sign between, because now you've changed your expression. Things are different if you're going that route. Okay, example 2, we're going to look at another word problem. Same rules apply. We're just now dealing with polynomials and monomials. So, the dimension of a rectangle, okay, of a gym floor, a rectangular gym floor, are represented by the expression 4x and 5x minus 3. So what is a polynomial expression for the area of a gym floor? And write that in a simplified expression. Okay. Well, we're going to take the same steps that we did last time, right? We're going to draw it out. It's mostly a rectangle, okay? And so on one end we have 5x minus 3. On the other side we have 4x. If you flip these, it's not going to change the equation, because at the end of the day, what we're looking for is our area is equal to length times our width. In this case, area is equal to 4x times 5x minus 3. I always like to write my monomial first. It's just a little bit easier in my brain. So 4 times 5 is 20. X times x is x squared. 4 times minus 3 is minus 12. And x carries over. All right? And that's our simplified expression. Because it's a word problem, I would say I expect a statement saying the rectangular area of the gym floor is demonstrated by the expression 20x squared minus 12x, or something like that. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is a little bit new, but it should follow up with some of what you've done in the past with algebra tiles. Okay, so we're going to demonstrate this using algebra tiles, but because it's a multiplication, we don't just draw them out and add them up together. We have to show the multiplication. So on this side, we're going to draw our 2 x units, and they are positive, so we're going to color them in. Okay, take that all the way down. And then up top here, we have 2 negative x's. And 3 single units. And they are positive. And these are negative. Okay. So then all we're going to do is do what's called an area model, right? These need to take up the same amount of space, both vertically and horizontally. So we end up with 4 large squares. And if we remember, these large squares are the same as x squared, which makes a lot of sense because it's an x times an x should equal an x squared. Okay, before we figure out positive negatives, I would just draw it all out. So here we have an x times a single unit. It needs to be at least this tall and at least this wide. All right. Okay, to figure out the positive or negatives, it's a pretty simple step. If these are different colors, okay, or one's filled in, one's not, it's going to be negative. So if they're different, it's negative. If they're the same, right, whether it's positive, positive, or negative, negative, it will result in a positive answer. Okay. Lastly, what we want to do, or what I would recommend doing is write this out as an expression. So here we have 4 negative x squareds, right, plus 6 x blocks. Okay, so homework is page 269, questions 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, and 17. Have a great day.